And we are back, people. Welcome, 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 welcome. How are you all doing? I am doing great. I'm melting away, but other than that, I'm doing great. Hey, Crow. Hey, Myth. State. Awesome to see you here, guys. Hewip. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Raina, welcome. Southeast, welcome. Amelia, welcome. Mineralin, hello, good to see you. Nax, if you're still here. Who else do we got? Thias Russell, hey, good to see you again. Phoenix Reborn, hello. How are you guys doing? Are you, the heat? Yes. The heat is too much. I mean, actually, it's more or less only yesterday it was hot too. Today was 32 degrees Celsius. But tomorrow it will be like 23, and then for the rest of, I mean, a week forward or something like that, it will be like around 20 degrees, which is perfect in my opinion. Hey Nep, welcome. Yeah, I mean, it's always this. So you Myth, you've been keeping the doors closed. I think it's kind of a balance between, do you want the hot air to come in, but get a bit of a breeze in? So if there is some wind, I do prefer getting some breeze in, but yeah, it's kind of a give and take. Or El Carlico, welcome. Yeah, the heat is crazy. Well, in Spain, I'm guessing it's much worse in Spain than here in Denmark. But the difference is, in Denmark, it's really, it's like this thick, humid kind of heat. So, I mean, I think it feels warmer and more kind of claustrophobic in a sense, compared to like an equivalent kind of heat level in. I'm not sure about Spain how it is, but I've been to Spain once, and I remember it being a bit more. I mean, the heat is more. How would you put it? Easy to handle, comparatively. Hey, Six, good to see you today. Has been a mix of rain, clouds, and sun, which keeps throwing me off with work. It's making me nuts. Yes, State. I know the feeling. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't rained yet, but it's almost like it feels like there could be thunder. Hey, Rebecca, welcome. Rebecca, you having the sun coming through the window like it owed me. Like you owe it money, yes. And now I'm spilling water all over me. Hello, I can't pronounce your name, but welcome. I'll just call you M because that's the first letter. Hey, Marvin Build. Iowa cities, villages, and towns had borders more compact than others across the United States. Yeah. So I know that in the United States, at least that's like generally on the East Coast, it's more humid, whereas on the West Coast, it's more, the heat is just more bearable. But maybe it's an overgeneralization. I'm not sure. South-facing living rooms for the win. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I am doing. Hey, not Damien. Are you not? Are you not Damien? Maybe. Hello and welcome. Yes, and Myth, you will be complaining when it gets cold again. This is kind of the Danish mentality. We always complain no matter what. So it doesn't matter how the weather is. It's always bad. Either too hot, too cold, too wet, too snowy. Damien. I will call you Damien. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Damien is in the name. That makes more sense. Raina, never. I'm handling -10 Celsius like a boss, but the warmth melts me like the Wicked Witch of the East. I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, it's. I usually enjoy I become more and more happy with glad or appreciative of spring and autumn. Just the more kind of temperate or kind of. Yeah, I think that's nice. I think, but I don't know. I think each what am the word I'm looking for? I mean, summer, winter, spring, and autumn all have their own kind of charm to them. So, Gabriel, hello. How are you doing today? I absolutely love your builds. Hope you're having an amazing day. I am having an amazing day. Other than it is really warm here. It's better now. I mean, it's getting colder, and tonight it will be actually a quite cool night compared to how hot it's been. So that's nice. Crow, you are looking forward to it getting colder. I completely get that. I'm much more active while it's warmer. The cold, I just want to hibernate in the cave. Yeah. I mean, I know people like that just crave like the warmth. Awesome for the win. Yes, awesome is awesome. Which actually, this is actually a good time to just show you this, because the autumn update is coming up. And while this is not the new snapshot, this is the same one as before. I did add a bit of flair to the build, and I'm going to show you in a bit, because all these trees, they will be converted to this new to the new update when it comes out, because I was a bit naughty. I did a bit work off stream, because yeah, I will talk about this too. Hey Sate, welcome. I haven't seen your new video, Sate, but I will, and I'm looking forward to hearing my own beautiful voice in your video. Just kind of a spoiler for the video, but everyone check out Sate Noodle's new video. It just dropped a couple of hours ago, I think. Not now. Don't go away from the stream, but later, after the stream, you can watch it. Please don't watch it now, unless no. Well, you can watch it. It's okay. She needs some. She needs. I want to give her some of my views, but I also don't want to tell you to leave my stream. So, well. But yeah, I have been doing some work. It looks like a ton of work, but it's not that extreme. So the thing is, and this is the thing I want to talk to you about. So my experience working on this build on stream, like exclusively on stream, has been tough in a way that I didn't really think about before I started streaming, because when you work on a build normally behind the scenes, you work in all sorts of different ways. Sometimes you're really productive. You just everything is just clicking, and you just produce so much and work on your build at a high level, and everything just clicks together. And other times, you just need to sit and look at the build, look at some references. It needs time sometimes, and you can't just. This kind of contrast in the way everything normally is while I work, at least, is just not matching totally with everything that happens on screen on a stream like this. Even though we have like 3.5 hours, it's not a lot compared to how much time I usually use on these builds. So it is really tough. I mean, I've been having so much fun, so don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that it's been tough to kind of strike this balance where I work on the build while talking to you, while explaining what I'm doing, and while inventing, or not inventing, but I kind of need to. I haven't a plan for the build other than the original sketch for the first thumbnail. That is the only thing I have. I don't have any reference for this one. So everything is just happening on stream while we're talking. So this has been a tough balance, and that is why I have been. That is why I have felt the need to, at least 2 times now, I've been working off stream on the project. I did it, and this one between last stream and this stream is the second time, and. I'll just remove the shaders just to show you, because the first thing after the last stream we did the texturing, and I felt there was something missing. Have you think about build with any redstones? You know what, Jade? There will be redstone in this build. I have an idea for a redstone elevator in this build. Flow state, Raina, are you referring to the YouTuber Flow state? I'm not following the conversation in the chat, so that's fair. Seeing other states being warmer. Okay, you're just talking about the weather. There is a huge build of just watching what I do. Just if I chat to someone, and everything kind of flows naturally, and when I work on it on stream. But yeah, I want to show the first thing I want to show you. I'll just wait with the trees and stuff. But the first thing I felt it needed, because last time we added a lot of texture. We added all of this that you see here, and I think in general we added the gradient. So we went from the dirt block to kind of mud bricks and into terracotta and cinnabar, and then had that fade into the red terracotta and then the cinnabar bricks. That was kind of the general kind of the gradient, and then we have a noise pattern which is mostly just the red terracotta and some mangrove planks and mangrove stripped mangrove logs or wood, and I just felt something was missing. So what I did was I added this kind of leaking texture, this gradient underneath ledges like this, from with darker colors, and I felt this actually just from looking at it from this side. This felt much more natural in a way that I liked, and added a bit of contrast to it. To have these darker areas kind of behind the blocks in front. So this is the main thing I added, I think, for the like after the stream, and then I did a bit of kind of these these kind of fractures. We talked about having, because we have these mud blocks down here, and they kind of, in a way, they kind of work well with the blackstone. So kind of having that be kind of almost flow into the blackstone in a way, I felt that that worked quite well, because the bloodstone kind of element to it that I talked about last stream is basically having so this is beyond Minecraft, but having a kind of a stone that, when polished, it turns red. Hey Sandy, hey, welcome. Good to see you. Having this kind of stone that almost like a stone that is actually black, but then you polish it and it kind of bleeds, so it turns red. This was kind of my thought process. So you have the stones underneath, and the one in the mountain here. I know there's two different kinds of stones, but kind of the lore of it was what I was thinking basically. So having a bit of these darker colors revealed, I thought worked quite well. And in general, also just these ledges here, these details here, I just added a bit of fractures and stuff, kind of giving it a bit of age. And then I thought to myself, because this is something I used for other builds before, Drawn Odin, hello, welcome, and Clom, I'm guessing, hello. Yeah, because some of my builds I do add kind of growing trees. I mean, they usually grow, right? No, I mean what I mean, like old trees that kind of that almost kind of becomes part of the build. In the same way, if you know have played any From Software games, I know I can't remember which one of you guys told me, but the Dark Souls game. So, for instance, Dark Souls 3, if you've seen the Firelink Shrine from that game, the tower is actually, there's a tree kind of growing and kind of almost hugging the build from the outside. It's actually a dead tree, but it's kind of the same idea. And I felt this kind of, this aspect actually gave it a lot of character. So just having something that that almost kind of becomes part of the build when you kind of walk in and you walk under this giant tree, I felt was a cool kind of touch. And I did this on both sides, on both castles, both towers, and just having it kind of curve around the different towers, and the same over here, coming from up down here and all over these towers, and then hugging the smaller tower over here. Hey Sati, I said hello to you. I'm getting old. I meant hey David. You love it. Thank you so much. It already looks so good without shaders, but with shaders is unreal. Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's always this balance. I think it should look good without, but of course it just adds a bit more vibrancy and contrast, and just everything just pops a bit more. And as I mentioned, I'm using a resource pack for the leaves. I think I used oak leaves and dark oak, but I will substitute those leaves for the new ones when they come out. But yeah, I think it actually adds a lot to kind of have this kind of overgrowing stuff just in different spots. It can't be too much. I actually removed a bit because it became a little. It kind of overpowered the build, but I think it works. But and it actually blends in well. So just seeing this from here, I mean, you probably notice it, but it's not like it's overpowering. You still have the main shape. Everything is kind of there. As I mean, yeah, I think it kind of complements the build. See, this is why I can never be happy with my own builds. The standards are too high. I'm sorry, Myth. I'm sorry, but I mean, I mean, I think because you have begun building more now and been sharing your stuff, I think it just takes a bit of time. And I would actually, I mean, I'm using tools like Axiom now that makes it easier, but my builds have been becoming kind of bigger and bigger over the years, and I think there's so many cool smaller builds, so there's no shame in building like tiny builds. So just to mention that, I can say this now because Josie's video has been released, and she had a 100 days video. Also check out Drusilia's video. Not now, another time. Not while you're watching my stream. But she made a 100 days video and just released it a couple of hours ago. And for the tour of that build, me and Sandy was invited, and one of Josie's friends, YouTuber friends that I didn't know, and Mugswamp. You probably heard about Mugswamp. 3 million subscribers. He came because he was actually reacted or made a video about Geocilia's video like half a year ago or a year ago or something like that, and that video popped off and actually helped Geocilia, I think. So she has been so appreciative of what he has done, and invited him, and he said yes and came on. And he's such a really cool, nice person, and we had fun just touring the build. So definitely watch that. It is a longer video. I think it's 1.5 hours or something, and she spent a lot of time doing that. But I would definitely watch that. Yeah, that was cool. What is your favorite build of my own or in general? This is actually live. Endo Carlo. This is live. You and Shovel are my favorite builders. Keep up the good work, man. Love. Oh, thank you so much. Shovel is, I mean, what he's doing is just unreal. He makes much larger builds, and it's much more like, I don't even know how to categorize it, but because he kind of, I don't know if he developed that style of building, but it's much more of a complex structure that is both sculpture and buildings, and it's kind of its own thing in a way that is really unique. And he does a video, then goes into hibernation to work on another build for like 4 or 5 or half a year, 5 months or half a year, and then it gets 1 million views within 1 day. But what he does is amazing. And actually, some of his videos and also other builders that makes huge projects inspired me for my next build. So I'm not talking about this one here. I'm talking about the one I'm building behind the scenes, which is much larger than this one. It's much bigger, and it will be closer to something that you'll see someone like Shovel do. It's not quite like Shovel. It's my own style. I build way differently than he does, but there's definitely some inspiration. Also, the format of the build, where I talk about what I'm doing in a way that is more kind of I don't know. I wouldn't call it a video essay because it's not quite that, but it's more like that. A bit more like the video I made called "The Power of Symmetry" or Asymmetry for the Golden Palace. Hey Six, I have a thought regarding the overgrowth of the right tower. I feel like you could add tree growing from the side of the mountain, kind of like traditional Japanese ink paintings. Yeah, they could kind of pop out on the side. I could do that. That could be a thing. I didn't want to kind of have the trees be too much their own thing, but I definitely could do that. I think it could probably, it could work. I think it could definitely work. Really hyped for your new build now. Yes, I am hyped too. It is, it's going to be, it's difficult to tell because the video itself won't be necessarily much more difficult than other videos I've made, but the build itself is just much bigger and different also. It's way different than anything I've built before. What is your favorite build of your own? I don't know, actually. It's difficult to say. This guy used mods to build. I use mods for this build here. I use Axiom and World Edit. When I do time-lapse videos, I usually do it manually because I think it's more immersive that way. But for sketching or kind of coming up with ideas, I use mods. Yeah. MC Animated, having been in the stream for a while, but damn, it looks good. Thank you so much. But back to the one, when it comes to my favorite builds of my own, it's difficult to tell. I mean, it's really difficult to tell. I think Crestling Castle is up there. The Echelon. I think I really like the. I mean, I like Utgard too. I really like. I really like my original coal tower from my first video, which inspired the mausoleum. I also like the mausoleum. I mean, now I'm just naming builds because it's difficult to kind of. It's like it's like picking your favorite child, right? Does 99 blocks for my Utgard bridge work? I don't know what that means. Do you mean the height or the Y level or the length, or do you have a... I'm not quite sure what you are referring to. Hey Nancy, welcome. Good to see you. I just explained about what I've done, but I've been doing off stream. I've been working a bit on the trees here and added a bit more texturing. So just some of these kind of darker texturing areas I've added. But yeah, I kind of need this because it's so... I mean, I feel like I'm doing so... Whoa, okay, is it just me? Okay, the hole... Imagine, look at this hole over here. From here, doesn't it look like an eye? I don't know if you can see it. Like here, it looks like an eye, right? I mean, this... Whoa, it just looks at me. I know it's just a block here and the lighting from behind. Oh, it's just like, why is that mountain looking at me? It really does, right? And if I move a bit, yeah, it goes away. It has to be right here, right? I mean, from here, it just looks like... Oh. Ugh. Now I'm getting scared. There are uncanny things going on. I should build a hey Endo, Carlo, I should build a dragon tail. Well, yeah, I mean, there could be something like that. Oh, and Sati, you said something earlier. Oh, the ASMR video was low-key recommended to everyone. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you liked that one. I really wanted to build something you build in my world. Of course, I know that you have your own style of building and mountains and hills, but it's just really hard to replicate it in my world. It can be difficult to take another build and sometimes just changing the colors can help a bit, because there's a level of abstractness to a lot of builds that where you can repurpose it. And I think a good example of that is the Emerald Cathedral, which is a mix of the mausoleum and the coal tower, and then with the onion-shaped domes on top. But a lot of it is actually from the other builds, and just changing the color and adding the dome, the kind of the constellation of the towers, is actually changes so much of the build. Okay, guys, just to tell you about this stream in general, I don't have a goal or anything. I'm just building whatever is needed. And Myth wanted a dome here, so I'm building a dome here. And I did a quick, what I did was I just checked, okay, so I can show you what I did. I went into Axiom here. I made a shape like this one, placed it here, and then I made a hollow sphere something like this, and then I moved it down. Something. This is just like roughly. Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I hate. Okay, so one thing I really almost never use the editor in Axiom. I just really don't. I mean, it's great and it can do so much, but it's just a bit. How can you put it? The way you navigate it. I like kind of building in normally in Minecraft. But this is what I did. I made a shape like this and cut the bottom part down from here and all of this down, and then I actually just so I made that, and then this is basically the shape you see here. I mean, this is just 1/4 of it, but it's just this shape, and then it's basically just that. So what I did here was I just tried to see how it looked from when adding it to the build up here. So what I did was I placed this in the middle. Let's see. It should be something like this. Yeah. Wait a second. Should I? Can't remember. Yes. It was something like this, and then I just added just on the left side. I just added a couple of blocks, but it's basically just filling in the areas that isn't kind of the areas that don't kind of that kind of are blocked off by these towers here. But yeah, other than that, we can remove this for now. And the thing is, I can't remember if anyone mentioned this. If it was maybe Myth, you mentioned it, or maybe it was actually inspired by, because I mentioned Sate's the tour on her server, where they have a cathedral, and I think if you're still here, Sate, you can maybe mention this in the chat. I can't remember if you know I don't know if you remember the build. Or the building. It's was it in Italy, in Rome, or somewhere? I can't remember where it was, but it was this ceiling that almost looked like it kind of has. It almost looks like a night sky. So I was thinking using the sculk blocks like this one. Or this one, for the inside of the dome. That could be really cool to have that ceiling. Perhaps, I'm not sure yet, but I think that could be quite nice. Oh yes, the tree dome. It might be that. Was it? Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. G Grover, your builds are great, and I appreciate that you spend even more time making them into tutorials, so we can have suck builds in our worlds. I hope you say such builds, because I don't hope my builds suck. Using sculk as stars combined with floating candles always looks so good without. It's and Myth, you mentioned the one in Rome, the Minerva, the Santa Maria Sopra Minerva. I don't know how to. I'm not Italian, and I don't speak Italian, so I don't want to. I don't want to butcher it, but oh wait, just a sec. Such builds, I know, yeah. I was just being silly, but yeah, I know you meant such builds. So Myth, you can just send it in on Discord if you want to. Boxy builds, fantastic builds. Thank you so much. That is nice of you to say. Yeah, I'm 40 minutes in and I haven't even built anything yet. But that's okay. Okay. So the idea, I'm thinking the idea is to build the dome like this and then have one layer underneath and then have some kind of construction. I don't think I want everything. I don't think I want the dome just to be revealed without any construction. I think, but then again, sometimes when it comes to a complex construction like this, where I actually need two different kinds of diagonals. So I need one from this one to the middle, from this one to the middle, and from this one. But this one is a mirror image of this one over here. So it's actually only two different kinds that can be copied all around. But I will make them last just to see how it looks, and then we can see if it's something we want to do. It was really quiet inside that church, and then I accidentally dropped my bag and it echoed so loudly. Oh yeah, yeah, Sati, I can relate to that. Also, using end rods and multiple layers of glass can add a start. Yeah, it can. I don't want to, because this room is actually not that big, so I don't think I want to kind of add too many layers. But I mean, I have seen stuff that has been made that really looks good like that. Okay, let's try something. Let's try and copy. So right now I'm just copying everything here. 30 blocks in one direction, and then we can just remove these here, and then I'll just try and change all of these to the sculpt block, just to see how it works. And we have polished Blackstone bricks, and then sculk. Oh wait, make resin first, of course. Because if you look at the with shaders on, they should kind of look at this. It kind of flickers. So that's what I was thinking, because that's why when I thought about it, because you don't actually need much more than this when using the shaders. Shiaki Haruma, hi, I'm new. Hello, I butchered your name. You build so polite. I mean, the way I build all my builds, or is it referring to something else? But I'm guessing it's a compliment. So thank you. Yeah, I love Skulk so much. I've never used Skulk in any build, so it's new to me. But just from complementary shaders, which is what I use, complementary unbound, I think this actually just works fine without. I know you can do a lot of stuff with candles and stuff, and maybe I'll add something. But my idea was to not overdo it and just keep it simple. Yeah, astronomy dome took hold. Yes, it is more or less like astronomy, like an astronomy dome. Let's see if we can do this. So, okay, here's a trick. Not a trick. It's just I want to copy this in here on the underside of all of these. So just to make sure I don't delete any of the blocks from the build in general, what I will do is I will simply copy all of this and then just so I have this saved, move this over here. Let's say 60 blocks. And then we can take this, move this back. Well, actually, we need to do one thing. Oh, I couldn't copy it. I need to rotate it and flip it. So now it's symmetrical. So you can see here. Wait. Yes, it's symmetrical. David, do I like symmetry or asymmetry? I like both. I am not probably... So I made a video called The Power of Symmetry / Asymmetry. So it's the power of both. But the idea of that video was to talk about talking about having difficulties working with asymmetry. So the lesson I tried to give people for that video was to build a symmetrical build and then rearrange stuff to make it more interesting. Like make it asymmetrical, but not really, because the thing is, in real life, if you look at castles and also some cathedrals, they're not really symmetrical. Well, they are symmetrical, but not strictly symmetrical. They have aspects that deviate from the symmetry. So just having a symmetrical build where you add a flair of asymmetry can be really powerful. And that was the idea of that video. And I definitely lean towards making most things more symmetrical, but that is why I love using mountains to build on for a build like this, because it forces you to use the terrain as it is and build upon that, and then stuff becomes more interesting and asymmetrical naturally. I mean, you can still build symmetrical. So you have this main part in the middle. This is symmetrical. These towers are symmetrical. Well, this is not symmetrical because it's angled, but you can still work with symmetry within asymmetry. So I think that's a good approach for people that have difficulties. There are people that don't care about that. They just go straight for asymmetry. I'm not that kind of builder. I tend to be much more have an easier time just using building symmetrical. And for a lot of things, it works because I mean, when building a cathedral, for all intents and purposes, the design is symmetrical. So I mean, it's a valid way of building. And I don't like the idea when people talk about symmetry and asymmetry and what is best and how should you build. I don't like the framing of that question, because it's not about what is better. It's about what works for what build. If you have an open space, or if you have a cathedral, you want to have a straight line into the altar through the main hall of the cathedral, and be awed by this giant space. And you do that by having usually a symmetrical build design. And of course, there are cathedrals that are asymmetrical, but it's not better or worse. It's just, I mean, okay, this is a longer discussion, but I'm just saying that it is, I don't like the idea of talking about it as one is better than the other. It really depends on what you're doing. And if you're building in a location, you usually don't build strictly symmetrical, because you need to take everything into account about, I mean, if you design a house on a slope somewhere or near, I mean, any place that has terrain or anything, you have to take into account, and the way you approach the building will become asymmetrical naturally because of all the design choices you make. Whereas if you build more of a solitary build in the middle of the town, like a cathedral, it's much more natural to have that be the kind of the most important building, which everything else kind of revolves around that. And then it makes sense to have it be more symmetrical. The Cathedral of Notre Dame, it's asymmetrical, yes. And actually, I used the Notre Dame from in Paris as an example of something that actually isn't strictly symmetrical, because if you look closely on the facade of the one in Paris, it is actually that one tower is slightly wider than the other, and it has the entrance is different and stuff like that. So small difference can also do a kind of help kind of guide the eye and help to kind of I think when something is kind of completely symmetrical, then you kind of have a feeling of having everything figured out. You kind of instantly see through the build, if that makes sense. Whereas having just slight variations is actually a really good way of actually working with symmetry. Sorry for my little rant. Okay, let's just so just one thing. Myth showed me a mod. I can't remember the mod, but it's a mod that works with Axiom, and what it does, it creates 2 flying speeds. So I can click on my secondary mouse button, and now it's normal speed, and then I click, and then it's 600 times faster. Not 600 times, 6 times faster. And it is much more convenient than going into the menu and scrolling or clicking. So just one click and go fast, go back, and then go slow again. It's so convenient. What are the builds like Utgard called? Like cool dark towers, not towers necessarily, but cool big buildings that look modern, not exactly for street. I didn't use a strict kind of reference for Utgard. So I wouldn't even know how to kind of talk about what style that build is made in, because I mean it's you could say that it's there are kind of a north element, but it's nothing like north architecture when you think about like architecture that was built in before Christianity was ushered in like 1,000 years ago in Denmark. It was thatch roofed with kind of something that looks more like a more simple version of Edoras from Lord of the Rings, I would say, just to give you a rough example. But I mean, I just mixed a lot of different styles into this build in a way that didn't really. The idea was to build something that didn't really have an obvious reference. So I just built this large structure with you mentioned kind of futuristic. That was the idea. I wanted to make it kind of slightly alien, while still being kind of old and weathered, and I did use a bit of how can you. I mean, a bit of a kind of Lord of the Rings dwarven architecture, like Moria design, like this way of having very kind of strict geometrical shapes instead of round, like normal round vaults or pointy Gothic vaults. I had geometrical shapes that kind of evoke that feeling of something very sturdy and solid even. Oh, just 1 second. Oh wait, I will actually do something a bit different because it is always already textured. I don't want to copy the texturing too much. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, it's not going fast, guys. But it's also fun to talk to you guys, so it's fine. Let's see. Okay, let's have a look. So this looks really cool. The way it kind of... I mean, will it change a lot if we add glowing like candles? I'm not sure. Let's just see what we have here. Oh, I don't have anything saved. So end rods could... What is happening here? Why can't I see anything? Huh? Why is there no... Look at my menu. This is weird. Okay. So of course they do add a bit, but I think for now let's just keep it simple. And the thing I want to know or figure out is if I want to... so I mentioned I maybe want to add the construction or kind of the vaults underneath, and I'm not sure about that. Let's just try and see, and then we can always change the soul lanterns. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think I necessarily want it to be that bright or add too much of a... I mean, they actually look cool, but let's try first and add a bit of... let's see. So I'll try and add a bit of add the vaults just to see if it works. If it doesn't work, then black candles, that's actually not a bad idea. But for some reason, I can't see the candles. Why is that? Is it the night vision that trips it up, you think? I actually had the effect on. Look at this. This is the night vision effect. So without the night vision, this is actually how it looks. So it actually turns real dark, and then it... That's actually cool, guys. I like that. This is really cool. But yeah, I think... Well, I don't think the... oh, wait, the replacement. No. The candle... What is happening? This is really weird. I don't know what it's doing. Black candle. Let's try it. Have you guys had this bug where you can't see it? Is it the... You know what? Maybe let's try and remove this. Let's try and remove the... Okay, now it's gone. Look at this. I think the texture pack... It must be the pack. Yeah. Oh, you know what? So the pack... Within the pack, they added some transparency or what? Or you need to reload the texture pack to see the texture. So, okay, so why reload? So I need to reload it again, and then it should work, or what? I also have that without texture pack. Okay, now it's there. Okay. That's fine. So okay. So maybe I started the game with the texture pack on. Maybe that's the thing. Yeah. Let's see. So. Oh yeah. I need to place it somewhere then. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Oh, wait. I mean, it doesn't really... You can kind of see it here. But I mean, it's not sure. Yeah, I think for now let's just try and okay. So let's see if we just clear this off. The effect. Then we have. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Let's wait and see. I don't want to. Oh wait. I don't want to kind of decide now. For now, let's just try and build the inner part of the vaults, and then we can see. So I need a block that is red, that isn't used before, just so I know that I can remove it. It's just to kind of get the shape right. And if it's not good, then we'll forget about it. Let's just try the wool just for now. Plains sculpt blocks are working. They will look very cool. Yeah, I think so too. For now, let's just keep that and let's see if it... Sculpt looks better from a distance. Yeah. I guess so. Okay. I know they are more red than the other blocks. I just need a reference. I just need to place this down and then yeah, this doesn't look good right now. Okay, so here's the thing I want to do. Here's a thing you can do with Axia. You can do this, then you can take the smear tool, then you can do this and smear it over here. So let's see. Yeah. The inverts are too much light. That's what I think, kind of my initial thought. Unless I add something on these vaults here. I still don't know if I want to add vaults. I'm just trying it out just to see. But there's something I don't like about this. Maybe... so can I... So this is 3, this is 2, this is 3, this is 2. Because if I only had 2... The thing is, if I... This is where I need to be more flexible. I am not a flexible person when it comes to designs. So look at this. If I have 2 blocks each, it will end up over here. If I have 3 blocks each, it will end up... Well, this is actually not that bad. Let's see. Let's take 3 here. And maybe I don't need to do this. I'm just trying to see how it looks. I think it will need some lighting for the ceiling to show from the floor, but it should be subtle. Yeah, that might be true. For now, let's just add these blocks here. Oh. Oh, that's not right. Let's see. Then we have this one here. 3 blocks and 3 blocks here. And then 3 blocks here. Well, basically 3 blocks here. Okay, let's just try this as a shape, and then we can just see if it works. I know this looks a bit weird now, but just wait and see. Okay. So if you ever built the Sanctum, you would probably know that the shape of the structure is actually, I mean, you have 4 parts that are equal or similar, but there are actually 8 parts. You have, if you take this diagonal line here, these 2 parts, this part here and this part here, is also the same. It's just mirrored. So that makes designing like a radial or kind of circular build much easier if you do it like that. So I'll try and do this, and then probably need to do this. Yes. And now we can do this here. Actually, let's instead of doing this, let's try and to start with this part here, and then mirror it over here, mirror it over here. Let's see, and then over here, and then we just need to copy this part here. Well, it's actually only 1 block. So right now this looks a bit weird because the color is off, and actually you can see anything now. You can see, and so was it Nancy? I can't remember who said it. Emily, hello, welcome. If you're new here, I haven't seen you. Sanix Dominius, RC usually use skull blocks for dark rooms to make it seem like space. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, right now it's it depends on what I want to do. I'm not sure, because the Mythos idea was this night sky, this kind of a observatory, which works fine without anything else, I think. But I don't know if it's too dark, because this needs something. I mean, maybe just candles. Maybe that's just it. But let's just try and see. Okay, let's try and have the night vision on. And then I'll just use another block here, because I think... wait, let's just have a look here. Need something a bit darker. Well, I could use the nether gold ore. No, I don't want to do that. I actually want to make it more detailed. So I don't want to use... well, we'll probably use full blocks, but... well, the crimson variant maybe... so red wool, and then crimson. Yeah, the crimson. I think. How does it look with? Because it it glows. It glows very much. I mean, that's not what I want. I mean, it could look cool, but it kind of goes against what I want. Let's see. Oh wait. Let's have a look here. The red nether brick, I don't want to do that because that's already there. So I will change it to something that looks like, I mean, it could be something like the mangrove, but I just need to be sure before I do that. Well, okay, let's try and see. Let's just go with mangrove planks just for now and just see how it looks. Because I think this kind of looks too... It looks too kind of blocky. I don't like it. So what you usually do here, or what you can do, is just to have this be a bit more... how would you put it? A bit more... fragmented, so you could use stuff like the I mean, you could use the fences or stuff like that, maybe. But I'm not even sure I want to do this. So this is the part that is difficult on stream, because I would just take a break, maybe do something, build a detail, then come back to it and just try it out. Because this is the thing, I don't have a plan for this. So this is the stuff that usually takes time, where I kind of can sit and think about what do I really want to do here. And maybe it's just, I mean, let's see, let's just try and let's just try and, you know what? For now, we will remove this, and then I would rather build without any, unless I do something more subtle, but I don't think I want to right now. Like something like having the blocks here be a different block type, so it's kind of built into the ceiling. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think for now, let's just keep it as it is, and then we can always add it later. I think that's fine. Okay. Whenever I look at the thumbnail of the build, it gives me the vibes of something you would see in a From Software game. I mean, that is, From Software is a huge inspiration of a lot of my builds. Not directly, that's not a build, well, somewhat, but my first build ever in Minecraft was, for my first video, was inspired by Firelink Shrine from Dark Souls 3. That in combination with a tower I visited in Hamburg in Germany. It doesn't look anything like it, but it was just kind of the idea of having these 8 pillars instead of having 4 pillars. So in that way, I really do get inspired by From Software, but not in a direct sense. I mean, you could say that Shinju Castle was very much inspired, kind of, the idea of it was inspired by Ashina Castle from Sekiro, but only in spirit, not in design, because it is quite different. So yeah, the kind of the grandness, how would you put it? The grandeur of those builds are definitely something that I'm inspired by. Yeah, it's kind of the idea, astronomy dome. Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at this. There are leaves inside. Hey man, you are a great tutorial maker. I'm building your mausoleum. Love your tutorials. Thank you so much, Nobita. That is so nice of you to say. So nice. W Bender free ad channel. Hello. 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 Aiden, hello. You are a great builder. Thank you so much. I'm a slow builder, as you all can see, because I mean, it's actually okay that some leaves come inside, but not too much. Yeah, I talked about this earlier on stream, that this thing where you need to talk to the chat and build and kind of explain what you're doing and kind of talk about your thought process, that is kind of difficult. It's not difficult, but it is difficult if you want to work fast. So everything is going a bit more slowly. But just looking at this, guys, I think this is actually really cool. Let's see, we have the effect here without. So, of course, I will add lighting. I will have chandeliers, stuff hanging from the ceiling. So I want the pillars to be lit. But I do like the idea for the idea Myth brought up in the beginning was to just have this ceiling be much more like a night sky, which is definitely what it is right now with the skulk. Cool. So cool. Yeah. Maybe use dark block that has a lower contrast with the skulk. Yeah, I mean, I could do that, but actually, I don't think I need to. I mean, if I wanted to go dark, then you could say it's more. It's not as noticeable, but then again, then I don't think I really need it that much. So for now, let's just keep it as it is here, and then move on to the next thing, which is, I don't even know what that is yet. Well, okay. The top of the build, I do want to add a bit of detail to this one. So let's try and do that. Let's try and do that. Let's try and add a bit of... this is difficult. I think I will want a block that isn't quite as bright as the cinnabar, the red blocks, or the mangrove. Maybe something like deep slate, perhaps? Let's have a look. For now, let's just try the polished one and then see if it works. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. So we have the mid one here somewhere. I can't see anything. Right here. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I don't know if I want to add a layer on top. Let's just try that first, and then we can see if it works. Normally I would do something like this, and then kind of have it taper upwards, and then have it be something like this, maybe. And then we need what we did earlier with having 3 blocks. So this could be 3 here. So I'm not sure about this, but let's just try and see. Because in a way it kind of matches the colors we have here, so we could do this. But I definitely want to add a bit more detail to it, just to have it be a bit more kind of fractured in a way that... So I think... remember, you're not far off build limit here. No, I know. So this, guys, this is build limit. This is the height limit here. So we can't go above where I am here. And I don't want to. I only want a very tiny spire here. But I do want to kind of add a bit of detail. So I think something like, I'm not sure, but maybe let's try this here. Or even, let's try, let's see. Let's try tiled. Oh, toe. The thing is, I got a new, I said this last time, I got a new keyboard, and it's much smaller than my normal keyboard. Which is a bit challenging because I keep... Well, now I can do... Okay, let's change this up a bit. And then, yeah, it can be a bit challenging when you switch keyboards. I don't know if this is the way I want to do it, but let's just try and see, and then we can... change it up. I don't like when builds become well. And Blackstone. Yeah, so this is Blackstone here, or the polished bricks. I don't think... okay, here, let's try. Okay, what I wanted to explain earlier. When I built the inner vaults before, it felt like a lot of Minecraft blocks, if that makes sense. Everything does here, but what I mean is, it feels like... So, what I mean is, if you look at these towers here, you can see it's Minecraft blocks, but it kind of blends together in a way that where it kind of becomes its own shape. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like anti-aliasing in graphics, where you with anti-aliasing you can kind of add a bit of how would you put it, kind of detail that kind of obscures the or kind of blends everything together in a way that is more smooth. It kind of removes the blockiness. And I'm just doing this just to see. I'm not sure about any of this. I'm just checking and seeing if I can do something like this. I don't think I want to, but I mean, you can probably do something like this and have it be, well, I mean, or even let's try something else. Let's try. So what color is this compared to? It's brighter. What do we have, guys? What do we have? We have iron bars. I really can't get used to this keyboard here. Iron bars. So let's see, because iron bars, they're so bright. Is it bad that seeing you struggle to do it brings me joy? The Sanctum Roof gave me headache. You want to see me struggle? That is sadistic of you, Beth. No, it's fine. You want? So, state you want retribution. I'm not sure you want that. So Sanix, the thing you struggled with the most was deleting the mountains. Yeah, I definitely get that. That could probably be the most infuriating thing. Oh. So I got Myth, my mod, one of my mythical Lunaris. I got her to watch Firefly. So I don't know if you guys in the chat have watched the show Firefly. It's probably my favorite show of all time. I'm not quite sure it is. I think it is. It's a fantasy. It's a western sci-fi, and I hope it seems like you like it, Myth. Oh, you finished it. So yeah. And if you don't, the thing about Firefly is that it isn't finished. They canceled it after one season, which is really I mean, I think that's really messed up. And after watching the last episode, you kind of have this empty feeling, because it's such a good show, and there's so many things you just want to know after that final episode is finished. And there's a movie called Serenity that will kind of, it does add some things, tie up some loose ends, but most people probably don't kind of feel satiated by that movie alone. I think I like it, I do, but in a way, I actually thought about this, and maybe Myth, you can tell me when you watch Serenity. In a way, I actually like the idea of the way it ends in the series. It's actually, of course, open, but it's also on I don't know, there's a mysterious note it kind of ends on that is actually quite satisfying if you if you think about it. I know it's hard because you just finished it and you're really mad that it's done. Yeah. Space Cowboy Pirates. Yeah. I mean, it's why though? It was so good. What do you mean? Oh, Nancy, you love Firefly. That's awesome. That talks about I saw a couple of months ago. They revealed something about an animated series. I know. I don't know much about it. I haven't really looked into that. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. I'm also a bit kind of jaded when it comes to kind of remaking stuff and kind of endless kind of remakes. Some work and some things work. I mean, there are some good things that come out of it. And I think deep down, all of us, if we have a favorite kind of show or movie or something that's potential for a sequel or a franchise, like deep down, we want a successful version of that, if that can be achieved. But I mean, it's just really difficult most of the time. It is really yeah, it feels like it's more there's a bigger chance that it will fail, and then you kind of like, I wish they never made it. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose it being animated will actually have it will probably feel like its own thing in a way that might be good, I think. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see, guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to finish the last part here. Actually, okay. Yeah, all of this is is not done, so we need to copy this part here. And even though it's 9 o'clock in the evening, it's so warm here still. 9 o'clock. Oh. It looks like a spider. It looks like a spider more than it should because it wasn't finished. It was kind of sitting on top without the it was still missing the lower parts. But yeah, so if you like Firefly, I think Cowboy Bebop is probably a good. I know it's not the same, but I think it's actually not a bad show to watch after Firefly. It is different in a lot of ways, but why can't I make this work at all? Okay, now it works. Okay. I think there are some similarities between Firefly and Cowboy Bebop. It's an anime, but of course a different vibe, definitely. But there are some kind of this crew of people kind of going from one. Well, so the premise, not the premise, but the format of the show is kind of similar in the way that you have an overall plot that kind of follows throughout the entire show or TV show, and then you have like a small piece, like a story inside. You have a story that is told like a very tiny sliver that kind of transports you into this world in a way that kind of makes it, even though it's kind of a very tiny story in a large universe, it's actually a really cool way of kind of getting you into that world instead of. So I'm not against doing something like, so in Star Wars, for example, you kind of jump from planet to planet and you see you kind of feel the grandness of the universe in a visual way where you see everything, whereas in Cowboy Bebop and in Firefly, it's much more about these small stories throughout for each episode. I think something like this isn't bad. So now I made this kind of, it's almost like what I mentioned with what I'm trying to say, it's almost like this anti-aliasing, where it's kind of it's fragmented in a way where you don't see the individual blocks as much as the. Although I do think, if I should be nitpicky, the length or the width of this area here, as this curvature here, is larger or wider than this one here. So it's not exactly symmetrical, but good enough, guys. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. We need a small tower here. Just nothing big, just something to highlight the top. There are some books that shouldn't be made into films. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same thing with books. There's probably a possible version for to make like most books into a good movie or a good show, but you kind of have to weigh the possibility of it being a good a success. In an artistic sense, I mean, not in a monetary sense, but because it is so difficult to kind of for a lot of things to be made in a satisfying way. So sometimes you just want to kind of rather not have them make it. And also the format of the thing you're making. I as a From Software fan, I would like to see something be done with Bloodborne, but not in any. I'm very skeptical of what they are going to make. Something like an animated show, like Castlevania. You could do that kind of a bit like that in Bloodborne. That could actually work. I mean, not the exact same, but you know what I mean. It's there's an abstractness to it. I think the format of that would work better than a live action. If it is a live action, it should be extremely well done and well cast, and everything is just there's so much more that could go wrong in a live action version of that, I think. There's also something to consider, which what format are you working in, basically. Yeah. I haven't seen The Witcher, actually. I haven't seen it. I saw a couple of episodes. it wasn't really my thing, and I haven't been kind of eager to kind of go back and see it. Avatar is also pretty good in its effects, but it's acquired taste from what I've noticed. Yeah, so Avatar is the last Airbender, not the other Avatar. Yeah. I have only seen... I'm not even sure I have seen the entire show. I started on the original or the animated TV series, but it's been a while, and I don't think I actually... yeah, I'm not sure I watched that. Oh, so for the top here, let's try and see if we can use something from the other towers. I think, well, you know what? We will take this one here. I'm stealing that design. It's too red. I don't like it, and that's, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I also think it's too there's something with the kind of the proportions of it that I don't like. The Witcher is a great series. The action, the whole lore is amazing, and I'm talking about both games and the show plus movies. Oh, okay, really? Yeah. So I've heard mixed things. I don't know, because I don't know the books, so I'm actually not sure how kind of close they are to the books. So yeah, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you. Okay, let's try and change this up a bit. We need some darker blocks. Okay, we definitely need to move everything down a bit. I think it's too... okay, let's try this. Can you please reply, bro? What's up? Hello, hey. Yeah, I have been I haven't been able to reply to all the comments, but hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Yeah, I'm not ignoring you. I just didn't see your comment. But yeah, it's difficult with the shows in general. It's it can be difficult, at least, to get it right, and also make everyone happy, because you have so many kind of different kind of wishes and things that you want to kind of be added to that particular version of the that you kind of have in your mind, and that can be difficult. So, guys, do you have a favorite movie? I know this is a hard thing to answer, but do you have? If you should name one movie that is your favorite movie, do you have one? Your tutorials from Sanctum help you a lot, but I made it in blocks. Okay. Aiden, you don't know? No, I mean, I know it is a difficult question. I mean, it's some would say it's kind of a childish thing to have one favorite movie because there's so many good ones. But yeah. So my own favorite movie would probably be Back to the Future, which has been my favorite movie since I was a kid. So it's more like it's like just pure nostalgia. I mean, would I like it as much today if it wasn't for the nostalgia? If I just saw it now and then, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, this is definitely my the one I would call my favorite movie, because it has everything from comedy to suspense to romance. It's just one of those blockbusters that has all the hallmarks of a summer blockbuster. I would say. Okay. I have returned. You have returned. State that is awesome. And I'm still building. I will really love if you can come any other time to see that build. So what you can do if you have a build you want to share, I have a Discord server you should join, and if you go to the description of this stream or in the description of any stream I've made, there's a link to that server, and all the guys, not all the guys, but a lot of the guys here are actually part of that server, and we share our stuff all the time. You should come there and join us and then share your stuff. I think that's the best way to kind of, if you want to share your stuff. The Lord of the Rings, awesome movies. Yeah, they are also definitely also on my list of some of the best some of my favorite movies. Okay, I think this is really cool now. I think I like this for now. Maybe I'll change it later, but for now it's fine. Let's see. Let's try and do a bit of work here on this one. I will do texturing on the roofs too, but not just now. We'll wait a bit with that. Green Snake is a good movie. I've never heard of Green Snake. If we're talking about comedy, it has to be either Rush Hour or Scary Movie. Good choices. I haven't seen a Scary Movie. It's been a while. It's been many years. But Rush Hour is funny. If you had to choose your favorite film series, it would be if you had to the Avatar. Yeah, you mentioned Avatar. That you love the Avatar movies. So now we're talking the Avatar movies, not the series, the movie series. Yeah. I can, when I end this video, I will go to bed, or I need to wind down to go to bed. So I'm not joining anything, but definitely show. I mean, you can show the world on the Discord. It's a really nice place to share stuff and meet people and say hi and all that good stuff. Let's just keep this. Yeah, we can add a bit of color gates maybe, but we don't need to add too much at this point. Okay. So we have this dome over here. Let's try and work a bit on this one over here. This one is not a dome. It's just a ceiling, and this is just something that will be. Let's see. I think we'll just do what we did all other places, is to use polished Bloodstone bricks as a base layer, and then for all of this I will add. This is just what I use now. I will probably add patterns and all sorts of stuff to these floors, especially in the halls here where you have a round floor. I mean, this begs for a pattern of some sorts. And Myth, you actually showed me a really cool one that I might try and use, like a flower kind of build. I'm not sure, but it looked really cool. So maybe that's the one I will end up using. It's just beautiful. I need to try White Snake again and see if I can follow it this time. White Snake? What are you talking about now? I don't follow the conversation. Yeah, Myth, this is why you want floor dimensions. Yeah, I know. And you asked me about the dimensions of some of my builds, and I know so the thing is, I'm still on holiday, basically. Not on holiday. I'm at home, but I'm not working. I'm doing these streams, and then I work 2 hours each day on my other build for the next video. But I'm really not working full time like I usually do, because I am more or less full time working on YouTube when I don't have a project in real life. I am an architect in real life, and I work freelance, so I have both 2 jobs, basically, YouTube and doing my the stuff I'm doing freelance, right? But this just means that now, when everything is during the summer, I just am much more kind of that. So much stuff is happening. I'm visiting family, and yeah, I can't work as much, unfortunately. So that is why it takes a bit longer with the next video. But I think I mentioned this last time. I've decided. Don't take me up on this, but I think I've decided to finish the next build and then go straight into the next tutorial for the first cathedral, because so the thing is, I usually do, as some of you might know, I usually do these what am I trying to say? Halloween builds each year, and I love doing them. It's so much fun. They're probably maybe my favorite videos to make out of any video I'm making, or at least they're up there, right? And the thing is with the problem with that is all my videos takes so much time to make, and I just can't. I don't want to be in a position where I need to have deadlines. My main job, is all about deadlines. I need to finish this job on this exact point in time, and I just need to do that. And I can't postpone anything. I need to finish it, the job I'm doing. That's just how it is in the real world. But I feel like what I like about Minecraft and what I'm doing here is this is purely something I do because I love doing it. And this is probably also why I don't enjoy competitions. I just want to take the time I need to make the videos the way I want to make them, and the builds the way I want to make them. So it's much more relaxing and enjoyable if I don't have to follow a certain schedule. And just this one video a year, because this is basically the only video I have a deadline for. Everything else just comes when it comes. And so Aiden, don't let your side hustle architect take space on your main hustle YouTube. You're right. And actually, I'm not even kidding, because YouTube has become more of my main job, and I want it to be that way. Actually, it is more of a passion at this point than my job as my architectural work. It definitely is. Have I done something wrong here? Wait. I know. Okay, sorry. What was I saying, guys? I can't remember. I was just saying that, yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to have a video where I just have to finish it. Oh wait, just 1 second. I'll do the trick again where I do this. So just long story short, it's not really short because I've babbled on for a long time. I think I might actually be done with. It's so hard to say that I'll be done with Halloween videos. It's just so. It's just much more stressful to have these deadlines. So I'm definitely thinking about just doing the videos. So I can still do the videos I want to do either way, and just do them. What I mean is, just one second. I don't think I'll use this. What I mean is, I can still do so the video I had in mind for this Halloween. It's a really, really big build, and a demanding build, and I want this to be made in a proper way, where everything is kind of made with care, and I don't want to be stressed out because I'm not finishing that video, that build. So I would rather just make a good video and then have it be a horror theme, and then just have it be a horror theme video, and then it's I'll just release it when I can, because I think that's more fun for me in the end. Guys, for those of you that don't know, I rarely make any mistakes, because of course I don't. But sometimes this damn full screen of me someone forgets to change that into. So my team that sits behind me, that they are in charge of the cameras and stuff like that. I have like 30 people in the back that will that puts on the music. They help with everything, well paid, of course. And sometimes they just forget that they are supposed, when I start to talk about building, they are supposed to change the camera to, so you can see the build. But so I'm not going to yell at them now, the guys in the back, but I will talk to them afterwards. Maybe fire a couple of people, hire some new ones. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, but let's get going. We don't have to talk negative. Okay. Okay, guys. We are back again. No harm, no foul. People just have to know when to switch. That is just a thing that can be difficult for some people. Okay, guys. Let's see. And State, you're saying that you the Discord has truly been nothing but incredible. That I'm so glad you feel that way. I mean, you have been really active and also really a great addition in terms of the, how would you put it, the kind of the energy you kind of put into, you kind of add to the space, if you can say it like that. I think I think it's awesome just to see you build. I mean, you do build really, really fast, and so for people that don't know, State is usually building my builds, but he's making them without a tutorial. He just watches a video and then pauses, and then, I mean, I don't know. It sounds insane, but he is kind of an insane person, I would say. He probably is clinically insane. I'm just kidding, of course, but he is really I mean, dedicated when it comes to building my builds. And I think so. Remind me, State, it is, you are working in normal creative mode, right? Or are you? What do you use? Do you use any additional? No, you don't use any mods, right? Maybe you can just yeah, nuts. Yeah, he is nuts. Yeah. I also don't want to kind of come off as a jerk towards him, because, but I mean, he would probably agree that he is totally nuts. I mean, I'm guessing, right? Right, State? Which is okay. It's okay to be nuts. Why are these blocks different here? Why are they different, guys? I'll just change them up. He's very much like you. Yeah. I was afraid he was, because I'm guessing, yeah, you are also crazy to so the thing is, guys, talking about crazy things, this is not really crazy. So the thing is, blocks have different states, and people who know Axiom probably know this. If you copy stuff in Axiom, the state of that block will be copied. So if I copy this block here, or even better, if I copy this block here, the full block, this won't be connected. But if I place a block here, it will be connected. So you can see, at some point when I made this, I didn't place these blocks in a natural way. I just copied them, which actually changes the way they behave. And this is both good and bad, because that opens up a ton of possibilities. You can build this and then use the Tinker tool, not this one, and then you can change the block state. You can do all kinds of things. You can see that you can add the height difference here, and you can use this for ornamentation in general, in a way you couldn't in survival, for instance. But that also means that sometimes if you want it to be naturally formed or naturally behaving naturally, you kind of have to think about the way you copy stuff. And I actually like to be in control of what blocks look kind of naturally placed and which don't. So, but now I'm just going around and doing this. I know it's a small thing. It's just it's kind of just having peace of mind, having this be placed in the proper way. I know it's a bit weird, but I'm probably also a bit crazy. How you got the idea to build this stuff? So, Fabio, I made a sketch on this mount. So what I did was I actually talked about this in a video I made that's called Mountain Castles, how I build mountain castles. And the way I usually do it is I find a location I need, like this one, with these two large mountains. Then I take a screenshot, and then I go into Photoshop, and I talk about this in the video, so you should watch that video. And then I simply draw the shapes of these kind of rough shapes, and use the mountains as a reference. So that way I can actually create the entire build just as a rough sketch without any detail, just the silhouette. Because the way I think is all about the silhouette of a build. So having a recognizable silhouette, that's my main objective, and just my thought process, kind of the shape of the overall build. So when I do this, then I have a framework, and you can actually see it if you watch the time lapse of the video called Crestling Castle, a Minecraft time lapse. It is very much a similar build to this one. And if you watch the first kind of minute or 30 seconds, you can see the way I outlined all the shapes in kind of a thin wireframe almost. And the thing I started with was a sketch, just a rough sketch, and you can see this sketch, the original sketch, in that video, where I kind of show you how I sketch it first, and then I kind of make the outline, and then I go back and kind of adjust things, and then when I start to make the detailing, then that's where I start to think about what kind of style do I want. Do I want more of a kind of Gothic style, or Baroque style, or whatever I want to make? I kind of start to kind of figure out what to do. But usually I don't think too much about how. I do kind of make some large decisions about the style, but usually I just start building it's difficult to kind of put into words, but I usually just go with the flow in terms of what Minecraft offers in terms of detailing. So just a window like this, kind of, I mean, this is, you could say, is kind of generic. I mean, it has a shape, but it's definitely a bit generic. But then if you use that design language for the entire build, then stuff starts happening, and you begin to kind of feel, or kind of get a sense of the overall design. It's not something I plan out totally from the start. But then again, if you see the sketch for this build in my very first stream, you can go back to my channel and watch that shape of the the two kind of towers on top, the way that you have this kind of octagonal shape. This is basically what I just did with these shapes here. Now I have a dome. I didn't plan on that, but yeah, like generally it is kind of a thing that just kind of it's a bit of a cliche to say that it shapes itself, because it doesn't really. I mean, in a lot of ways it doesn't, but yeah, I don't know. It's I know it sounds a bit vague when I talk about it this way, but I suppose it is a bit hard to explain. But you should watch the video about the mountain castles. I do talk about these kinds of builds and how I kind of approach it. And then I also do tend to kind of work with a lot of kind of reuse design. So the way I make railings like this is I'm just winging it in a way, where I just make something that I would usually make, stuff like this, and then just add my usual fence, gates, and fences and gates and iron bars, stuff like that. Really simple in a lot of ways. And now with the rod you can add, you can use this too. And then yeah, I don't know. It's it might be a bit not as satisfying to kind of as an answer, but I think people have different approaches to how they learn to build. Some like to use references, some like to draw, some like to just build. I think a lot of the things that helped me was to kind of just start to build and kind of come up with just simple details that you can use in a lot of different builds. I mean, like arches, for instance. Arches are used arches can be anything from a big arch like this to just arches as part of a window. And they come in all kinds of scales. I mean, a 3-block arch is basically just 2 staircases. And just getting into the habit of just working with Minecraft, trying out different things. Yeah, again, it's a cliche answer to just build and get better that way. But I think that's at least one of the things that all builders or kind of people in Minecraft, you get better at building. And then for me, so I mentioned this before, I watched the kind of the piece of the puzzle I missed as a builder, which is also a video you could. I'm six winging it, exactly. Yeah, I'm 6 winging it. That's a good pun. So a video I made called remaking my first build. That video, there I explained my journey as a builder, and there you can see some of my older builds that are extremely low, not necessarily low, but they are low detail, but they are really kind of clean. There's no texturing, and of course this was a time back over 10 years ago where texturing wasn't a big part of Minecraft. You didn't have the same amount of blocks you have now, but also my thought process was just much more minimalist, you could say, and I didn't want to add all sorts of stuff. And this is again something I usually mention in my streams. In architecture, in real life, one of the things that for new buildings is a thing that a lot of architects value, and I would say including myself in a lot of ways, is to use few like a small block palette. So you use very few kinds of materials for a building. It seems usually much more. I mean, it depends. Of course, there are exceptions to this, but minimalism and a kind of using materials in a thoughtful way is usually really good in real life. But the thing is, Minecraft isn't real life, and the way that a wall with one block, just one block in a massive wall, this is actually not how a real building looks, a real wall looks in real life. And that is why people have begun to taking that fact and begun using they began to use texturing as a way of actually adding things that might look weird on first glance because it is kind of low detail, but then you step back and then you can actually see, okay, it actually does mimic something from real life. And yeah, I think okay, I actually long-winded now, because what I wanted to say is, when I, in 2020, 2021, after the pandemic, when I began to build a lot again, I watched a lot of videos, and specifically by one of them was Mythical Sausage. And he was really good at creating these medium to small scale builds. They're not really small, but compared to mine, they're small because he plays in hardcore. And he is really good at detailing builds in a way that is really kind of, he puts a lot of love into small details. So the way he textures, the way he kind of just adds details in general is just so cool, and there's so much thought behind it that kind of lets for me at least, it was kind of an inspiring thing to take that concept and merge it with my understanding of large scale builds, and then kind of getting away from the idea of not using one of the things that I didn't do for a long time was to use blocks that you don't really use, blocks that don't that functionally isn't meant for the stuff they are designed for. So what I mean is, a trapdoor is a trapdoor. It's not made necessarily for texturing or for design, but that's the main use of that block now is just that. It is a block that is really, really good at just adding detail. So, I mean, you can use it as a trapdoor, as the original function, but it has just become synonymous with adding more detail than one block can achieve, like a full block. And that's the thing that I know it sounds weird now, because everything is everyone uses it now, but back then it wasn't a thing I was comfortable with using. So just watching people, I mean, to the person that asked earlier, I can't remember who it was, but it is a thing that you just need to practice and try and even try to recreate some, like a small house or something from another builder. It doesn't have to be a big build like mine. I would actually say do that first. Build something smaller first, and then get good at that, and then you can kind of start building bigger builds at some point if you feel like it. Hey Stongs, welcome. Cheers in water. To answer your question from earlier, 6, I am pure vanilla Bedrock player. I refuse to use any mods. Oh yeah, you are of course Bedrock. You're one of those people. Ugh. And I promise you, no jerk calling me insane. No, I promise you are no jerk for calling. Yeah. I know that you know that I mean it in the nicest way possible. And Stongs, who just joined, can attest to that. That state is actually insane. I think everyone who has ever met him. Oh, this is not good. But yeah, in our world, it's actually a compliment to be a bit insane. I think that's a good thing. True. Yes. Yes. So Stongs, can you? Is it warm in your part of the world? Can you manage the heat in general, or is it not that bad? Are you gonna watch Spider-Man Brand New Day? This is a. Here's the thing. I haven't watched any of the new Spider-Man movies. The what is he called? The actor. I can't remember his name. He's in everything. The guy that is in everything. And I can't remember his name. Tom Holland, right? I haven't seen any of his Spider-Man movies. I have seen, of course, I've seen Tom Holland. Yes, I've seen the main line of Avatar. We talked about Avatar earlier, of Marvel, the cinematic universe, up until Endgame. So I saw the other movies leading up to it, and then I saw. Then I saw Infinity War and then Endgame, and then I haven't watched since, and I've never watched his movies. I mean, there's no particular reason why I haven't watched them. I mean, I do like the Sam Raimi ones, and I've heard that these with Tom Holland, they are good movies. That's what I hear, at least. But that doesn't mean that I can't. I mean, I can always just take some time and do it, and I probably will. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I just never got around to it. Oh, wait a second. Miss was telling me how you and Miss thought I was a bit on the crazy side when I first showed up. I'm glad to know that I've shown that I'm the good crazy. I think you're crazier now than at first glance. It has only gotten worse, I would say, in a bad way. No, in a good way. Okay, guys, let's have a look here. We have the ceiling up here, and then let's do okay, let's try something here. You know what? Let's do this here. You should start again. What's your dream build in Minecraft? My dream build to build, or just in general. So my dream build. So actually, right now, I'm building a build for a new video. Not this one, but another build. This is in a lot of ways my dream build, the other one, because it's just something I've never done before. I have mentioned it on stream what it is. I actually have revealed it. But yeah, it's but to kind of if I should kind of answer your questions more directly, I would say a large. The thing is, it's so difficult to answer because a lot of builds are my dream builds. I would say that the build I have in mind I do have a build in mind. I can reveal this for this for the chat here, and for the people that maybe will watch the VOD. As a fan of From Software games, I really want to make a city like Yharnam or Irithyll, something really grand and majestic in a kind of a gothic kind of romantic style, in a gothic revival kind of style, with a central cathedral, and then just a big kind of dense city. Or city sounds so modern, but you know what I mean. And that's the build I have in mind to build soon, actually. But yeah, it takes a long time, so I'm not sure yet. There's so many things. My list of ideas for videos and builds is so long that I could build the rest of my life and I wouldn't be able to finish anything. Let's see. I liked it as a first live stream. How do I get inspiration for my builds? It depends. It really depends. I would say that I do. So I'm an architect in real life. So a lot of things are just things that I have internalized. So if I build a cathedral or if I build this, I don't have anything. This isn't based on anything. There's a bit of some references to, again, there's a bit of Byzantine architecture in this. Not really, though. There's a bit of, I mean, there's an abstract kind of sense of, I mean, you could make comparisons, but there's not really an inspiration from anything from real life for this build. Some builds are more directly inspired. So the Lawweaver's Keep was inspired by Parma Cathedral in Mallorca, like more directly. So for some builds, it is more kind of a thing where I do have more of a direct inspiration, but it really depends. Sometimes, I mean, I do enjoy. So one thing that I do is to take inspirations from that. So I try not to be too obvious with my design choices, so that you can look at this and say, this is definitely from this build or that build. I try to be a bit more kind of subversive, you could say, almost. So what I do is usually I usually do something like taking inspiration from parts of a building. It could be a minor tower of a build that I end up kind of translating in a way. What have I done? No. So for instance, taking a small. Next time I will bring some of my books. I don't think I have, because I have a lot of my books on the other shelf. If I'm lucky, there's a reference in this book, but it's not. This is a lexicon, or kind of a. It's not meant for. There are not many pictures, but there are some. Okay. Nothing really usable. My point is, I usually try and find inspiration in parts that aren't kind of main buildings. So maybe a small spire on a build that you can, like a small spire that and then I scale that spire up in a way that, and make that work as a design for like a larger build. So in that way, you would never think of this tiny spire on top of this large cathedral to be the reference, because you'd never see that, because you don't see that up close. So that's just one of my approaches. It's just to not be too obvious with, or maybe just a detail from a window, and maybe scale that up. Oh, look at this. We talked about floor patterns earlier. Look at this myth. So this is actually really cool as a floor pattern. It's quite elaborate. But yeah, I don't have a good reference here for these. Yeah. But generally, I mean, one thing. Okay, here's one thing you can do that is really good. I think, is to learn about kind of the inner constructions of large buildings. So if you see, generally floor plans like this and cross sections are really cool, because there's tendency, and I have this tendency too, but there's a tendency to see buildings as just large. I mean, flat walls just mashed together with a dome, maybe. But in reality, it's large pillars that are much have much more substance to them, because they need to hold up this large dome. So one thing I do a lot is to think in construction, think how the build is constructed, and then try to have that be the basis of the builds in a way that the name of this book. This is a Danish book. So this is a. It's I mean, it's this one, but it's yeah. I'm guessing it's well, or maybe so. I think it is made by. I think it is. It's made in. Yeah, it is. Printed in Denmark. Yeah. Of course, it's printed in Denmark because it's in Danish, but it's also published in Denmark. But yeah, be more aware of how everything is works together as a construction. Because if you know the construction, then everything kind of feeds into the design. If you know how everything is put together, then it's easier to, that the pillars should be there for a reason, and then you can start. And then you can start to detail stuff after the fact, after you have a how's the build going? It's going well. I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, then you can use the construction as the base of the design. And now, Myth, I'm going to tell my team to switch over to the game footage. Thank you. Did you sketch out the design of the Bloodstone Bridge before you started the build? Yes, I did. If you go back to my to the stream section of my channel, you can actually see that I did a a sketch. The very first thumbnail for my first stream. That stream, that thumbnail is a sketch of the build before I built it. So this is what my reference basically. But actually, myth. No, it's not. There is a. It's a Danish book, so there's not an English translation. But it's not a book I would recommend. The other books I would recommend. And you know what, guys? Here's the thing I haven't done before. I have an intro video running when I start the stream, and I have an outro. I also have a pause or be right back. So if I get my book, a couple of books, you can enjoy my you can actually enjoy my be right back screen. So I'll get some books and then I'll be back in a bit. And I'm back. Hello. I found a couple of books, but first let's put the music back on. Okay. Some of these books are not easy to come by, but some are perhaps. This is a general book about architecture, world history of architecture. What? This is quite old, but I think they made newer versions of it. But this is just a good book for general. Just if you want to kind of go through the entire history of architecture in the world, there's everything from, everything from Greece, and earlier than that, and all the way up to modern architecture. And it's a really comprehensive book. I mean, it's comprehensive in the way that you will get a good kind of general feel of all styles of architecture, really. So this is one I can recommend. This one, this is again a Danish book, but maybe it is something that is translated. This is the one we used actually when studying to become architects, and this is more technical. It's much more intellectual, but it's in the same way as the other one. It goes through and has a lot of awesome drawings. So you could just for the drawings alone. I will get this book, but it has a lot of. It's quite dense with information and analysis. So, and I don't know if there's an English translation, but just in general, there are so many good things you can get from this book that is just in general. As what's the name of this book? So this means this is in Danish. So it means rummets arkitekturrum. It's a play on words. It means the space of architecture and the architectural space. So rum means space and architecture. And Lars Markussen, that's the author. He's he lives in Copenhagen, I think. He's where he teaches architecture. But this might be one you can get in English. I'm not sure, but the other one is an English one. Then there's this one here is this is in Danish, and it's made by Taschen. No, it's actually not Taschen. This is Könemann. It's another publisher, but they make all kinds of books when it comes to for each time period. So this is only for Gothic. I have a couple of others too, but just in general, if you like Gothic architecture, then there's a lot of cool stuff here. I can link them in the on Discord and try for myself. Just see if I can find some international versions. But yeah, just in general, as for inspiration, this is awesome. But I mean, you don't have to buy a book to get inspiration. All of these pictures you can find online. But sometimes for some people, it's just a bit more inspirational to have a book. And one of the most inspirational books is this one here. And I'm sorry, but this one, you wouldn't be able to get this anywhere, I think. Let me try and see if I can get it to focus. No? Come on. Come on, Canon. You're supposedly the best autofocus in the industry. Oh, there it is. So this book is it's 100 years old, this book. And this is also so this is not something you will get. I'm just showing you this to brag, basically. But everything is hand-drawn here. So it is just a really, really cool book. It has all these kind of really amazing drawings that are much more old school. I have 3 of these books for the. So they are made in the 1920s. So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't think you can get these anywhere. I have other books, but maybe I can show you some other books next time. But A World History of Architecture is a good book for kind of for general. Sadly, no translation. Oh, was this the other one? I'd find a book helpful. I think books are special in a way that you. I do feel like books can inspire you more than. More than just. Sorry. I think they can inspire you more than just like looking up pictures from the internet. Annoyingly Danish architecture books, especially other ones are some of the best. You lot are kind of known for this. Yeah, I mean, Denmark is a big kind of architectural country. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it is something we are known for. You could say that. Okay, let's see. But yeah, inspiration can come from all sorts of places. And the way we get inspired can be so different. Oh, State, you're a collector of books. That is also cool. We will need to go back and add like proper lighting to the build at some point, because right now it is it will be really dark without any night vision. But I will do this later. It's not as important right now. Yay, more books, Aiden. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay. You're so relaxing. Thank you. I take this as a compliment. So I mentioned earlier that I was invited to a world tour of my friend Jusilia. She's a YouTuber, and she just released. The reason why I can mention this now is because she just released the video, and Jusilia, she had this 100 days thing. You probably know more about it than I do, but yeah, she invited me to kind of tour her build, and she invited another friend, and Sandy Sparkles, and then Mug Swamp, of all people. I mentioned this earlier, but for people that are joining later, I'm just mentioning this. And Mug Swamp, he's a really cool guy. He a big YouTuber, and I think the reason why he wasn't there was because like a year ago, he actually made a video covering her short video about, I can't remember what the topic was. Actually, I can't remember, but he covered that, and she, of course, got a lot of good feedback, and people still comes from his community to watch her stuff, and so that's why she invited him, because it's diable water. Yeah, that's true, Myth. Yeah, I remember now. And she was so excited to have him on, which I completely understand. For me, it's a bit weird because I didn't watch any Minecraft YouTubers before 2021. In a way, I'm a bit. It's not that I don't get starstruck in the same way, but they weren't part of my. I mean, a lot of these creators, a lot of them I don't even know, but then a lot of them are people that. Yeah, I mean, it's impressive that they are as big as they are, but it's also a bit. They just feel like normal people in a way. I know that sounds weird. I'm not saying that it's it's not a pat on my own shoulder or anything. It's just more the sense that simply because I haven't been around for a long time, or in the community of Minecraft in general. So I think that's part of it, at least. And but for Gisela, it's of course a big thing because he has been such a big part of her channel and everything. Hello, Six Wings. I'm building the Utgard right now. Oh, Churchy, that's awesome. I hope it's going well. But okay, the reason why I brought this up again with the Mock Swamp and the tour and everything was because Mock Swamp, he has a very kind of passionate way of speaking. He's very engaging and very I don't know how you would put it in English, but he speaks in a tone that's much more it's partly because I'm Danish, but I speak much more subdued and almost like I'm. Yeah, there's no peaks and troughs. It's just speak like I have a potato in my mouth. but when listening back to, I saw the video, and you should watch it too at some point. But I saw throughout the tour where we all joined, it really became apparent how, I wouldn't say monotonous I sound, but I just have such a different voice. And I think it was partly because there were people near me in the place I live at the time. They were, I mean, I was kind of sitting alone here, but I kind of kept my voice down a little bit, maybe. But I still think the way I speak is just much more subdued, I would say. To not put a negative spin on it. And of course, also the thing about being, I mean, I think you have to get used to it, is just speaking the English language in a regular kind of more regularly than you usually do, because I mean that is what streaming is, and it can be a bit difficult if you don't speak it that often. I mean, I do speak it, but not that often. So practice makes perfect, I suppose. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Let's try and add something. I'm basically just winging it with all of this. I'm not. Oh wait, is this right? Yeah, this is good. Okay. Your English is better than mine half the time. No, myth. That's not true. That is not true. I mean, you speak like, I mean, when you talk, Myth, I get instantly transported to Hogwarts. That's how I feel when you speak. Your builds are awesome. Thank you so much. Say a sentence in Danish. Goddag. Mega fedt, at du kommer her og ser, hvad jeg laver. Det er super fedt. Jeg håber, der måske er der nogen i chatten, der forstår, hvad jeg siger. At jeg er fra Danmark og sådan noget. Men til dem, der ikke forstår det, jeg ved ikke helt, hvad de kan gøre. Måske kan de bruge en oversættelse, der er i... en indbygget oversættelse. Måske er der captions, som det hedder. Og der kan folk forstå, hvad jeg siger på dansk. Men det er et meget mærkeligt sprog. It's a very weird language. I was just saying, it's a weird language. There's a cool video that Sandy showed me that kind of highlights the difference between Danish and Norwegian and Swedish. And it's kind of fun. It's a bit, it's making fun of our way of speaking, but it is true if you if you watch the video. if I ever build a water temple or something like that, or aqueduct, no, not a water temple. An aqueduct, not really. Not in the strictest sense of the word, no. There are so many things I haven't tried to build. So I could definitely branch out, which I will. You will see soon that I will be branching out, but there are so many builds I want to tackle. But just, okay, I can give you a bit, kind of a piece of information. I said this last time, but for the people who weren't there last time, I am going to... So I have 2 builds in my... Ja, det er jo dansk, ja. Det er dansk. It sounds like you're speaking backwards at times. I've never heard that, but that is actually a fun description of Danish. What was it? Oh yeah. So I was going to say something, and now I completely forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah. So I've done 2 builds in my in the Northern Mythology series, so to speak. Freya's Hall and Utgard. And I want to make 2 or 3 more. And I'm just saying this here because there are probably not that many watching, but I'm making Asgard, I'm making Valhalla, and I'm making Helheim, or I have to figure out what I want to make, but maybe Niflheim. I'm not sure. I can't remember the English names of the different places. I'm used to saying it in Danish, so I'm trying to think. But there are some places. So I actually only wanted to make 2 more. So Asgard and Valhalla. But I do want to make something that is nether-based or kind of hellish in nature. So that could be cool to kind of have that be a version of that. And yeah, I never built anything in the nether ever. So that could be actually really cool to try. Okay, this needs to be changed. So Jotunheim, so Utgard is in Jotunheim. Jotunheim, well, it depends on who you ask. It's not, I don't think it's totally clear, but depending on who you ask, Utgard is Jotunheim, but I think it's usually referred to a fortress within Jotunheim. So I'm not doing anything more kind of ice-based. Asgard will not be end-based. Asgard will be much more majestic and more. Asgard will be much more kind of it won't be like that. Yeah. One day, I mean, it's not that it couldn't be end-based, but end-based is just so dark and also so it doesn't seem a great fit for Asgard, does it? Or maybe I don't know how you mean it, how you. Okay, guys, what should we do now? I think. I'm not sure. So I mean, there are tons of things we can do. So just to show you guys, if you go inside here, I've opened up all the floors just so it's easier to kind of move between floors. So we have the tower up here. Actually, let's start from the beginning. We come up here, all the way up through the staircases up here in the towers. And we come in here, and then I need to create some kind of entrance that is a bit more majestic than this tiny piece here. Then we have the main throne room here, and I think I do probably need to have some windows, but I'm not sure yet. But this is a throne room. It will be majestic and with large vaults or arches kind of surrounding the area here. So you come in here and beg for more resources for your farm or whatever you want to kind of talk with the king about. Then we have the main staircase here. This is the one. The main staircase is in here, in this one, and then if we go up here, this will be more of. I'm not sure yet, but since we have the ballroom up here, calling it the ballroom, but it's kind of the main hall that will house kind of the. It will be the main place for gatherings, for kind of. It can be for anything really. It could be for an event, but it could also be for just any kind of gathering or celebration or something. And then I'm not sure if I want the main quarters of the king to be here. I don't think so, actually, because why would it be here? I think I would much rather have it over here in... it seems much more private over here. But then again, should the king go back and forth here, and then each time they need to go to the throne room, I'm not sure. It might be easy to just transport the king up one floor, and then your floor suggestions for that room have been sent. Okay. Some lightings need to be put up inside. Yes, Thaddeus. Thaddeus Russell, not Thaddeus. Yes, definitely. I'll wait with that. I need to get the main designs in place first. I want to do that first, but yeah, I'm not sure yet. So this, just to show you, this part here will be the elevator, the redstone elevator, and then I have to decide if the room below here will be the main quarters of the king. What about the rooms here? Maybe this will be the kind of a preparation room. It could be like a barracks even, because you probably want people or guards close to it, but then not barracks perhaps. It could also be for food storage, or it could be divided into smaller rooms to be used as secondary rooms, or kind of I don't know. Some of the nobles could live here. Maybe the family could live here. If it's a big family that owns the castle, then this might be for the other members of the family. I don't know. Could be. And this here, this is kind of a transition room that will be can be used for all sorts of things, for storage, for just as a hall, not a hall, but a transition room between the main rooms here and the smaller rooms that are here, which could be kind of guest rooms, or I don't know, anything really. I'm not sure yet. I mentioned that this room up here is really cool because you have, you can look outside here and look far, and then you can look here and have a nice view of the bridge here. So this could be a really cool smaller room. It's not quite small, but still smaller than some of the bigger ones. And yeah, I don't know. We have to figure that out. Someone mentioned this or asked me earlier if I want to do interior, and I do want to make the interior, but I'm not quite sure yet how I want to do it. I think I will do all the construction part first. I add everything we've been doing up here. I want to do for all the rooms, and then I can start to do the interior with furniture and stuff. I feel I need to do the main structures first. But there are a lot of rooms that I don't know yet. I mean, of course, storage, kitchens, stuff like that. We need a lot of that. But definitely give me some ideas in the Discord. If you go in the stream section of the Discord, you can write all the ideas of rooms you might feel could work as a kind of realistic or like rooms you feel like could work well. Over here you have the tower. This could be a cool kind of place for the king or for anyone that has access to it to come up and just be by themselves. Maybe there's an enchantment table or something like that. Or it could be anything really, just a watchtower. I don't know. And down here, again, we have like this. I mean, these two rooms, this one and the other on the other side, are the main kind of the most beautiful rooms, I would say, and the most kind of most interesting rooms. So, if you have any ideas of what to do here, you can just, I mean, you can write it here, but you can also come by the Discord and give me some ideas if you want to. And what else? What else do we have, guys? We of course have all the. Oh wait, what is that? Okay, we have of course all but of the rooms over here. So yeah, inside here we have this large area that connects to the main. This is inside the main, like the bridge. But this is more of a transitional space that's just there to be cool, basically. Yeah, and then we have all kinds of rooms down here that could be used to all kinds of things that I don't know really. I mean, I do want to kind of have multiple staircases, internal staircases, and I want to have kind of lifts and some cool kind of. So down here we have one way of accessing the space. So this could be a cool way of accessing, maybe a lift down here or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, definitely give me some ideas if you have some, because we have a lot of weird kind of spaces that don't really work that well, like this one here. But then again, this could be turned into multiple rooms. It doesn't have to be one big room. So this is inside the tower here, this one, and then we have the tower here that is quite narrow, so this would probably just work as a watchtower of sorts. But maybe for something important, because why would you build this extremely tall tower for something that isn't important, because it doesn't have a lot of space, so it needs to be something that, I don't know, a secret maybe. A library. We definitely need a library. I'm not sure where, but we definitely need that. I mean, a library could also be over here. I mean, either here or downstairs. That could also be a thing. What about a jail somewhere? Should there be a jail? Perhaps. I think so. Yeah. And that's when you start to think about logistics. So if you have a jail, you don't want the inmates to be transported through this pristine hall here. I mean, why would you do that? So you would have a secondary way of getting over to. I'd say downstairs with a spiral staircase going. Yeah, I mean. We definitely want something from downstairs going up. I think we need several staircases, a lift maybe. And yeah, an archive, a library. You also mentioned this state. Definitely, we need that. We definitely need that. But yeah, I think so one way of doing this could be to take a screenshot here and then just paint out the different rooms in squares, and just having this puzzle of different squares, writing it down, all the functions, maybe just have a it could be from down here, but probably more I mean, this is my thumbnail set, but it would probably be better to be up here and then have a straight-on view where you can just write out easily, and then maybe there's a way of kind of grouping things in a way that makes sense. So you would probably want things to think about the logistics of everything. Think about what functions need more elaborate ways of connecting everything together. Amazing, Rick's Minecraft world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I'll need to do that. And maybe, maybe this is my homework for next stream, is to do a sketch that I will show you on stream. And in the meantime, you can write. So I will probably forget a lot of this. So in the comments of this VOD, when it's up, or in the Discord, under the stream section, you can write down all the ideas you have for different functions, like things you would like to see inside this build. Because when I see this build, I think it doesn't look like the Eyrie from Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire, but it kind of has some of the same. Some of the same things. So some of the same strength, I would say, of a build, of a castle. It's way up high in the mountains. It's difficult to access. You could make a moon door here, for instance, and dropping people down. I don't really want to, but stuff like that could be a thing. But maybe have a place where people are a jail, where they are maybe I don't know. It could be in between these pillars here under the arches. Could this be a cool place for jails, where they can kind of look down and maybe even have so the jails in the area are made in a way that you can actually go all the way to the edge. So it's really, really scary just to be there. Maybe that's a thing we can try in try here, but yeah, definitely give some ideas for how I could how everything could be arranged, because I think logistics it is probably it is a thing I value when building, kind of thinking about how things are transported. That's what I thought about when building Creston Castle. I made these lifts and transportation systems both inside the castle and outside, and I thought about how all these lifts could work together to overcome the fact that you had this tiny bridge in the middle. How could you transport people and materials for building, even from from sea level and way up high in the mountains? So that kind of thought process is really important, I think, and it adds a lot of lore and a lot of intentionality. Hello, Cupid. I was just thinking it had a mixed vibe of the area and the Red Keep. Yeah. The Red Keep is definitely also it's not an inspiration, but there are some things that, I mean, you can see the hand of the Tower of the Hand at the very back actually looks like this. It's probably much bigger comparatively, but it has this vibe. So I actually had that in mind, the Red Keep, just for this part here. Do you happen to know what a liminal space is? Yes, I know that, or at least the way that people talk about it. So my understanding is that liminal spaces are generally spaces that. So see if the best way I can explain it is spaces in between areas. It could be hallways, it could be streets that kind of have a generic feel about them you can't really tell where it is. And it can sometimes feel almost out of a dream because it's kind of these weird spaces that I don't know the exact definition, but this is usually the way people speak about them, and that's why people have used it for kind of horror aspects, because we have these liminal spaces like hallways of things that are that kind of feel. I don't know. Did you think about that when you saw the hallway here? This one here, was this why you thought of it, or was it for another reason you mentioned it? Because in general, I don't think about liminal spaces when I look at this build, but it is an interesting concept in general. Could you put a small, decent-sized archive in with the astronomy room, the shelves along the walls, perhaps? Perhaps we could do that, yeah. But the astronomy room is supposed to be more of a gathering, a space. It could be. So Dasha wanted a ballroom. A bit anachronistic, I know, but I mean, a place for celebration, a place people or the royals will meet for anything really. Yeah, a liminal space is a physical location of mental state of a transition of hallway, empty airport, and major life change. These intermediary zones often feel surreal, eerie, and nostalgic. Yeah, I mean that's basically what I was trying to say. I mean it's I don't know how you if it's used in a metaphorical sense, but it is these places that are kind of anonymous in a way that is. Or I would say the reason I say generic is because you don't you can't really place them. They're like empty spaces that are almost in between stuff that you kind of transition through, and we all know them, but they kind of create this almost eerie feel. In which version are you playing on? I'm playing on 61.2, so the version that adds the Cinebar. This is the version I'm in right now. No. Okay, you're asking about the leaf type. No. The leaf. So I mentioned this in the beginning of the stream. So I want to convert all these leaves to the new leaves that when they will be added. This is just a texture pack, so you can see the real one is actually I think it works fine, at least with oak. But this is made. I made it for the texture pack basically. So when the update will hit, I will use the real leaves. I will simply change all of them so they match these. And I think there are red ones and there are yellow ones and orange ones. So it matches. And right now I have two different types. So I have reddish or more. It's not really red, but it's so maybe it will be the yellow and orange ones I use when it comes to that. I think the red ones might be too red for this one. I don't know. I can't remember how red they are compared to this. We'll have to see. But yeah, liminal spaces. God, this is beautiful. Lovely to see someone already taking good use of the new blocks. Thank you so much. So I did start out with the earlier version where I only used mangrove, which I think worked. I mean, it worked fine. It wasn't. I think this adds more vibrancy to it that I think works really well. And I think actually after last stream where I started to use when I started to make the gradient, so you can see I have a gradient from the dirt blocks all the way up to mud bricks and terracotta and cinnabar, and then red terracotta, and then the cinnabar up here. And then I did add some gradients underneath ledges and stuff. But yeah, in general, it is the dominant block is the cinnabar block. It is it definitely is. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So Cupid, I'm guessing you're speaking. Okay, let's see. Just 1 second. If I can. Okay, it's because the thing is, I don't know how it looks on your end, but on my end, on OBS, I don't see the translation when people write in other languages. But with Cupid, what you're writing here, when I go over to the stream, I can actually see that you wrote, I couldn't do it either, but it's really beautiful. I don't know what you're referring. Oh, you couldn't build it, maybe. Maybe that's what you're referring to. But yeah, for some reason, because I'm looking at OBS for the stream, so I don't get the translations. Maybe there's some sort of plugin that can translate, but it's okay. But guys, I think I'll cut it short. I mean, cut the stream short in a bit. I usually stream until like 10 minutes more. I can talk a bit more. Yeah, it auto translates for you. It does if I go over to, so I have the stream open here, so now I can see it, but it's I don't usually watch the stream. I usually just watch Minecraft and then OBS on the secondary screen. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just ask. But we didn't do much this stream, so I just to go through what we did. We made the dome. So we made the dome up here. This one we made, and we made the ceiling inside. Just to show you, we don't have lights yet, but we made this skulk ceiling, which is really cool, I think. And with additional lights, I will add a lot more lights. It will be really cool, cool space. Then we did a bit of work over here, not much, just a bit of work on the rooftops here, a bit of the construction. But I think this has probably been my least productive stream. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm always having fun streaming, so it isn't important. But yeah, in general, I will continue with this series for a while, I think. And I probably will do a bit of... Myth, you think the dome was a good idea? The dome was Myth's idea. And I think so too. It is... it works well. It was fun listening and watching. Have a great day. Oh, Mr. Habanero, thank you so much. I didn't even see if you wrote earlier, but I remember you. I think you were here last time or some of the other times. And I'm glad that you were able to check in and listen a bit. But yeah, I will continue this, and I might do a bit of work in between. I don't know how much. I do want to, when I'm doing stuff in between, I know that the trees, I was kind of pushing it because I built all these trees off stream, and I know that this could be fun to watch. And well, actually, before I leave, I can actually just, it's not that I don't have anything to say about it. It's just that I could show you how I did it. but just generally, what I did was I used Axiom for this. So I used the line tool. What's it called? The path tool. So with the path tool, you can create kind of lines where you click on one point, and then you can decide the diameter, and then decide of a different. I can change the block to a different block. Oh, for some weird reason, you can't really see it. I'm just seeing this now. For some weird reason, it just shows a really weird. I don't know how it looks on stream. Let's see. It looks. You can't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, it didn't even catch that. For some reason, OBS can't really. I think it's because I'm showing, because if I do this, look at this, then I've built. No, what happened? It crashed. Guys, Minecraft's crashed. Oh, for the first time it crashed. For the first time on stream. And you know what? It crashed after I did the... It crashed after I placed the structure that I didn't want to place. So I wanted to place the thingy, the branch. I was just trying to make a branch. And then let's just have a look and see if it let's see, recover. Yeah, I need to recover the recordings. Yeah, I'm still alive, Sandy. I'm just about to go now. It crashed. Six's builds have been proven to be too big for his computer to handle. Yeah, I think it was a thing with having the shader on while I don't even know why. It wasn't a big kind of thing I did. But you know what? I will test this. I don't want to because it needs now it needs to retrieve the data for the replay. It just did. It takes a while, so I can't even go inside and check now. I'll have to wait a bit. Yeah, I typically go to around this time. Around this time, so I will leave in a bit. But nice to have you back, Sandy. Cheers in water. But yeah, I've been having fun. I just told the others I haven't been building as much as I have on other streams, but we have been talking about some cool books. Ow! Why am I hitting myself with a book? That is my cue that I need to stop and go to bed. But we were having fun, and I have been building a really cool dome, I think, which was Myth's idea. You watched a movie, Sandy. Awesome. Which movie did you watch? Barbie. Oh, you have I now got another 7 hours of work on violence ahead of me. Yeah, it's a different time zone, so you will definitely... Ghosted. I haven't watched Ghosted, I think. Can't remember. But yeah, guys, I hopefully my build is not destroyed. I usually take a lot of backups. I have backups for each stream. I make a new backup, so I have so many versions of all my builds usually, which is a good thing. If you ever something happens, and it's good to be prepared. I think it's because of working in the architectural industry for so long, making a project and then everything crashes the night before you are supposed to finish a project, and then you're just screwed because you have to work all night to retrieve it. So I've learned over many years that I need to back up everything all the time. It's still retrieving the replay. Did you finish? Finish what? The build? No. I didn't finish. Or maybe you mean something else. I didn't finish the build at all. But it is coming along nicely. I have been. I mean, the exterior is actually quite close to finished. It doesn't need much more. It probably needs an entranceway at the bottom, or another bridge maybe for entering. And the entrance, the main entrance is not done. But if you see the build from afar, if you see the thumbnail to this stream, you can actually see the. I actually also made a video about that, but the thumbnail was before the stream, of course. But how the build looks now is actually more or less done from the outside. It is. Yes, Sandy. If you have any ideas for rooms for the castle, write it in the stream. Either write it in the comment section of this VOD when it's out, or go into the stream section of my Discord. There you can write ideas if you have any rooms you would like to see. Chef's kitchen, of course. We need a big kitchen. We need multiple kitchens. Of course, that's the most important part. A library, like an archive, or multiple of those. A throne room, a ballroom, a kitchens, like the main kitchen for the king, smaller kitchens, barracks for all the staff and the guards, royal bedrooms for the family and the royal family. We probably need something like jail cells, maybe some really dark places, that torture chambers or something. We'll have to see. But a royal garden. Actually, we need a garden upstairs in one of the outside, with a small tree kind of on the outside. That could be cool because we already have some leaves up there, so it makes sense to have archive rooms. Definitely, yes. But write all the ideas down in the comments or on Discord. A garden, yes, a garden. That's awesome. But guys, I will leave you now. It's actually, I thought I would end the stream sooner, but then Sandy came along and I just couldn't leave just without saying goodbye. Royal gardens are beautiful. Yes. You would have closed the eyes. Someone said about something. I've been watching the window behind you and the sky turning dark. Yeah, the sky turning dark. Yes, it's now it's completely dark. Actually, you can actually see the difference because usually it didn't. Now we are almost in August, so like a month ago, it wasn't dark at this point. Not totally dark. So this is actually quite cool. But yeah, I can't leave now. Yeah, I will leave now, guys. It was so much fun as always. I will do the idea of kind of making a sketch where I write some of the ideas. Maybe we'll actually a thing we could do on stream is to have a screenshot of the castle with squares that symbolize each of the rooms, and then we can drag the different kitchen we can drag, or I don't know, just the names. We could do that on stream perhaps. Maybe let's we can think about that. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, guys. I had fun as always, and you are great. You've been great, and yeah, I'll leave you with the outro as always. I don't have anything else to say other than I'm mad at the game for crashing, but hopefully it hasn't been destroyed. I think it will be fine, but let me handle that. But yeah, guys, other than that, thank you so much. You're great. It's been great. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.
Thank you.